According to Albert Einstein, we cannot solve a problem from the same level of consciousness that created it. My name is Corinna Stoffel, and I'm the host of Toward a New World. The world seems to be falling apart. Are you as frustrated as I am with the talk about how to fix things or what needs to change, yet nothing changes? In the episodes, I invite people to look from different perspectives, sometimes even contrary to the current points of view. My intention is to evoke a different level of consciousness by empowering listeners to explore what is true for them and begin to live their lives from that place, thus changing their lives and through the world. If this appeals to you, I ask you to subscribe to the podcast on this channel.
Hello and welcome. Here we are again. What are we talking about today? Judgment is what came up for me. There are two kinds of judgment. One we're familiar with. We label something as wrong, bad, etc. And when judging something, it can only be that what we judge it. Not more, not less. We only see it as whatever we judge it as. Also, there is a so-called positive judgment. When we judge something as right, as good, you'd think that would be a good thing, right? But the same thing applies. You can only see how we judge it. It is fascinating how much judgment really is a lens for us. Let's apply this to relationship, let's say. I judge someone as being absent-minded. So I tend to see that person mostly as absent-minded. I don't notice the times when they're not absent-minded. It's interesting. We gloss over anything that does not fit the judgment that we have. We judge someone as kind. This is a really kind person. And interestingly, we cannot see when they're, for instance, mean. And when we notice, then we're totally surprised. Oh, that can't be. They had a bad day. We make excuses. Again, because it does not fit judgment that we have. It doesn't fit the lens through which we look at a person. There is judgment in groups. Inside, outside. And there is then the judgment that we are right, they are wrong. They are good, we are good, they are bad. Judgment is incredibly pervasive throughout our daily life. It is absolutely fascinating for me. And it's even more fascinating for me as I am working to get out of judgment, because I want to see what is, not through the lens of judgment, but what is. Definitions often can include judgments. It's not that obvious some at times, but indirectly we relate to that definition as being something that we consider good or bad. And it's that polarity that we create in our life. And judge, I don't know how to describe. We should be doing certain things. Okay, self-judgment. That's the word I was looking for. We do self-judgment because we have decided we should be doing certain things that are right and good, we should be doing, and the ones we label obviously bad and negative, we should not be doing. And how much do we judge ourselves in either case? I'm right doing that thing. I am so bad because I'm not doing what I should be doing. How often have you encountered that? I mean, I encounter it quite a bit within myself. That self-judgment is also incredibly helpful for, think about it, who benefits from self-judgment? Advertising industry. They can sell us something by labeling it in the correct way, by making us feel not up to date, feel bad, feel behind, evoke the feeling that this is something we need to have. How much do we really follow that judgment that is pervasive in advertising? And what is the effect of judgment? You want to think about that? I mean, technically, you don't need to think about it. How do you feel when you get judged? Do you feel good or do you feel bad? Usually, I tend to feel not that good, independently of where the judgment is coming from. And mostly it's coming from me. I'm judging myself. And it has become not as polite to criticize somebody. I've noticed that criticism, verbalized, except for within a close-knit community like a family or a group of friends, it really isn't that prevalent anymore. But in those close-knit groups, it can still be present. And often, sadly enough, that criticism is based on supposedly loving the person. So we need to point out what they're doing wrong. At least that's what I grew up with. And if it doesn't feel right, is it really that effective? And my joke is, so if it would be truly effective, then shouldn't we be perfect at the age of maybe 30 or 40 or 50, at least 60? But We still aren't perfect. We still have our flaws. So is judgment and criticism really working? And what if we allow ourselves to see things in a different way and stop the entrainment to judgment that we have experienced, that we get fed, that you need to judge in order to make a decision. You need to be discerning. If you really look at what does discerning mean, discerning is a mild expression for judgment. So what's the benefit? Where does it bring us, really? Because have we ever stopped to think how much the judgment of others as being other, being different, as being the bad guys actually allows us to make war, to fight others? And is that ever solving anything? For me, I said, I'm trying to get out of judgment and I'm trying to have more of a brain heart coherence. Because interestingly, the brain is trained on the polarity. The heart doesn't follow that polarity. And if we get a brain heart coherence, then the heart takes over, becomes the leading agent, so to speak, which starkly reduces the amount of judgment that we have in our world. So, what if we can do more of that, of the coherence, and less of the judgment? What would that be? How would that be? Would we have more peace? Would there be more joy? Food for thought. Let me know what you think about judgment and what your responses are to that. Are we really needing judgment? Is that necessary? We're told it's necessary, but is it truly necessary? Think about that. And let's see what can change. We'll meet again next time, and I'm curious what I'll talk about then. Take care. Bye bye.